Hello YouTube, it's Michael here. I'm doing an update video on my PS3 stuff. I've been kind of slowing down my PS3 stuff, and mainly because of the holiday games that have come out. As you can see, I'm playing some Fallout 4. So Fallout 4 has been taking up a lot of my time, and then Tales of Zestiria. I'm almost finished with it, but I'm working on it. And then I just wanted to show this real quick. I did pick up the Witcher 3 Heart to Stone Gwent pack. It's just a download code with the Gwent cards, but it was 20 bucks. It's gone up. It's actually getting kind of hard to find now. And then I did pick up the Pip-Boy edition for my Fallout 4. I had that sent directly to me from Bethesda store. I was really happy to do that. I was going to do an unboxing. I decided not to because I know a lot of people were kind of salty that they weren't able to get one. And I saw a little unboxing videos. But that's why I didn't do an unboxing of that. But anyway, I did want to mention a couple things real quick. Part of the reason I haven't picked up a lot of games, at least for my 360 and Wii as much, is because I'm trying to save money for Black Friday, get a computer, get a camera, video editing software, so I can start doing these videos a little more professionally. I just started out doing these videos for fun. I've actually had people reach out and ask if I want to do ads and stuff. I don't want to do ads. I just do this for fun. I don't want to make any profit and stuff. Well, it'd be nice, but that's not my goal. And I'm gonna really stay away from doing ads for as long as I can. So, but that's just my perspective on it. Like I said, I'll always do this for fun, regardless I get paid for it or not. And that's the way I look at it. So just start doing it for ad revenue for like $3 or $5 a month really isn't worth it to me to make my my viewers go through these stupid ads that you can't skip sometimes. But anyway. I do want to press on one more issue. I'm sorry, I know it's 2 minutes in, but I do get a lot of flack about how many Japanese games that I own. I can't deny I own a crap ton of Japanese games, and you have to remember I grew up with an SNES and an NES in my home, and when those two systems came out, you know, almost all of the developers are Japanese. All of the games I grew up with, you know, I grew up with Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy VI, the Nintendo IPs, anything by Konami, Capcom. Those are all Japanese games. I don't know if people realize that. I'm going to say it's better this day and age than it was like a decade or two ago. But you have to remember, man, most of the development teams and stuff and publishing teams are Japanese. They're, like I said, it's gotten a lot better. You got stuff like Bethesda, Rockstar, even European developers like CD Projekt Red, which are really good developers, but they're not a ton out there. And you might think stuff like EA and Ubisoft are American as well, but they have Japanese people on the development team. They've been influenced by Japanese games, and it's hard for me not to pick up Japanese games. I feel like American games mostly focus on huge open world RPGs and first person shooters and action games. And I want a little bit more from my game than and I feel like the American games are a little bit narrowed on their genres. So it's just something, it's my preference to collect Japanese games. I do find Japanese games become more collectible down the road. I do prefer playing my RPGs, still my JRPGs, over first-person shooters any day. I do prefer my Japanese publishers over American publishers just because they tend to bring games overseas that I'm really looking forward to. But I mean, that's my preference, that's my opinion, and I cannot deny that I have a lot and I support a lot of Japanese games. But when you collect video games for any system, you will typically notice that the most expensive collectible, rarest games are the Japanese ones. And that's something I've always kept an eye out on. It's like, man, you know what? Typically, a game like an NIS game is going to become much more expensive and rare down the road than a game like of God of War, for obvious reasons. But anyway, let me jump into this here. It's taken up 5 minutes of your time already. I've picked up 12 games for my PS3. This first game I'm showing is called Bionic Commando. I've actually been looking for this game. and I've had a hard time finding it complete. And I've even had a hard time finding it disc only, and it's only $2 at GameStop. It wasn't a great game. They made us on the 360 as well, but I wanted to play it. I wanted to see. I always enjoy the Bionic Commando games for the NES. I thought they were really good. So I kind of grew up with Bionic Commando a little bit. It's not like a huge series or anything, but I was just interested. And for $2, I definitely wanted to play this game for $2. So, and then, like I said, it's not the easiest to find. I think this will become a little collectible down the road. I don't think it'll become expensive. I just think it'll become a little collectible. I think people will be interested in what some of these Capcom franchises were and have become and stuff. So. But that's Bionic Commando. This next game I picked up multiple times and sold multiple times, and it's pretty much stayed stagnant now at $5 at GameStop, and that's called The Chronicles of Riddick: Assault on Dark Athena. And this actually has 2 games in it. It's got the original Xbox game Escape from Butcher Bay, which was an extremely good game. Like, these are first-person stealth melee shooters, and I'm not huge on that sort of genre, but they did a good job in both these games. And more than likely, like, when you pick up a movie tie-in game, they are shit. And this wasn't. This was a great game. And I think this it came out a while ago. I think this was one of the first games to really support trophies on it, but that's how old it is. It's still got the old PS3 spine and stuff. But I think this game will become a little bit rare and collectible down the road because A, it's a movie game. That was good. It came with 2 games that were good, and the price point's really good for what you're getting out of the game. You're definitely getting $5 out of this game, and you know, I don't think it's going to get crazy or anything, but I definitely think it's going to go back up to like 10, maybe $15 someday, which isn't a huge jump, but man, you just wait until you can't find PS3 games anymore, and then a lot of these games are going to be really hard to find, in my opinion. But this might become a little more collectible on the road. This next game I actually don't remember if I've shown before, but I'm pretty sure I picked this up pretty recently, and that's called Condemned 2: Bloodshot. The first Condemned was for the 360, called Criminal Origins. I actually had a lot of fun. This was one of the first 360 titles to come out. And just knowing that, you know it's going to look a little old. And this game looks a little old as well, not going to lie. But I thought it was a good game. I enjoy the survival horror genre, and I will support survival horror genre games. And even though I don't buy a lot of these games new sometimes, I still feel like it supports it when you pop it in and you show people that you're playing it, because it kind of gets them interested, like, oh, he's playing Condemned 2. I've heard of that game. Maybe I should pick it up or something. And this was, I do believe this is $2 as well. And I think it's worth $2. It's definitely not the easiest to find. It's not the hardest to find. Some of these survival horror games are kind of hit or miss when it comes to rarity and expensiveness. But as you look at the PS2, like some of the top 10 PS2 games, most of them are going to be survival horror games like Kuon, Haunting Ground, Rule of Rose, stuff like that. But I keep an eye out for it for the price. This next game I'm going to show, I looked for this game for a little while and I kind of gave up. This was $1. It's called The Eye of Judgment. Now, there's a lot you can do with this game. I actually heard really good things about this game. I got really good scores and reviews. But to get the full capability of it, you got to have the PlayStation camera. And this actually, you can buy booster packs, like card packs, like magic cards and stuff for it. That's some of the monsters and stuff. Really kind of a neat idea. Let's see if we'll focus in here. And I did want to mention that bundle, they sell it on Amazon for like $18, I think. And I'm really interested in picking up that bundle. It's got the PlayStation Eye, it's got the Eye of Judgment game, 2 booster packs, and I think another thing. Really cool deal for the price. I think it was like $120 brand new, but it got really good reviews. I want to see what the whole hubbub was about for this game, and I honestly, that bundle will be expensive down the road. Mark my words. This next game I picked up because I was watching another YouTuber's channel on Rare 360 games, and this was one of his predictions. And while I agree with that statement somewhat, because it's got a weird publisher, a weird developer. It was only $5 pre-owned. Actually, once he mentioned that, I'm like, you know what? I haven't seen that game in a while, even for 360 or PS3. I kind of want to play it because I looked up some gameplay of it and it looked interesting. And it's not a bad game. It's a decent game. It's a mature rated fairy tale. It's called Fairy Tale Fights. And it's like a 3D fighting game with fairy tale, characters you grew up as fairy tales. Kind of interesting premise. I think this will definitely become collectible on the road. This might hit cult status, so it's one of those games that could or couldn't. But I actually have a hard time finding this game. For $5 for a collector, I think this is a great piece to add to a collection. So. The next game I'm going to show is called Golden Axe Beast Rider, and I've actually bought this before, and the first version I bought was the PAL version from an American GameStop, and it's not that I know PS3 is region 3 and stuff, region free, but I'm mainly a US collector. If I go and collect PAL and other region games, they're going to be exclusive to that region. So, but that was my take on it. I think this was $2. It was a terrible game. I won't say terrible. It was definitely below average. Golden Axe had a huge standard of quality with the first two games for the Sega Genesis. I really liked the first two Golden Axe games. Even the one for Sega Saturn, which was kind of a fighting game, wasn't bad. But this, if you took Golden Axe off of it and put a different name on it, I think it might have gotten a little better reviews just because of the expectations they had for this game. But it's a below average game. The story's pretty weak, but for $2, I don't think it's going to get much cheaper, and it's one of those games. I don't think this will become rare or sought after down the road. So leave it up to you if you want to pick this up. This next game I'm going to show is called The House of the Dead Overkill for the PS3. Now, they made a Wii version for this. I think this is the extended cut. I think it actually has some extra content on it. But from what I heard, the Wii controls are really good for it. And a YouTuber on watching my Wii videos mentioned this game. I do want to pick it up for Wii. I found it for PS3 first. I do believe this was $5 at GameStop. It's between 5 and 7. It's one of those two. But I heard some good things. I do believe it's an on-rail shooter, just like most House of the Dead games. But for the price, man, you can't really go wrong for that. And I thought this used to be a $10 or $15 game last time I looked, and it went down. I don't think it's going to go down too much more. And I always think like these House of the Dead and on-rail shooters games, they hold their values pretty well. So I keep an eye out for this price. This next game is called Katamari Forever. If you played one Katamari game, you've played them all. I think you've heard me say that before, but it's a really weird and strange, very Japanese game. Published by Namco Bandai. Says it's only on PlayStation, which is a true statement, but I do believe every Katamari game kind of plays similar. They've got one on 360 that it reminds me exactly of this game and every other Katamari game. But anyway, the premise of this game is that your father, this guy here, the king of the stars or something, he falls into a dream state and all the stars in the sky disappear. So it's your job, which you're this weird looking green pill-headed thing, I have to roll up things to as big of radius as you can to create the stars in the sky. It's a quirky game. I think it's fun. It's actually, I think it's one of those games you can just pick up and play. Very, very weird game, but I believe I picked this up for $10, and that's about what I wanted to pay for it. It's been $20 for the longest time at GameStop. I don't remember where I picked it up, but I only paid about $10 for this, and this has held its value for a long, for 7 years. It's been the same price. So just it might be a little newer than that. It might be about for 5 years. It's held its price, but I think this will, Katamari games hold their value pretty well, and they stay pretty collectible. So I'd keep an eye out for that for $10. And this is kind of in the same vein as the Katamari games, not in the same genre, but King of Fighters games hold their value pretty well, and they stay collectible. I've always kept an eye out for this, and it's been steady at $20 for the longest time, and I think I finally caved in, and because I've been having a hard time I've been hemming and hawing about it, and I couldn't find it, and it's kind of been irritating me. So I finally found one complete in good condition. It's called King of Fighters 13, published by Atlas, which is, you know, Atlas will do a low print run. It's a 2D fighting game. It reminds me more of Street Fighter than stuff like Guilty Gear or Blaze Blue. So if you like Street Fighter games, I think you'll like the King of Fighters games if you've never played them. They usually use bigger sprites in the Street Fighter games, and a lot of the controls are similar. You know, they have fireballs and uppercuts that have the same controls as Street Fighter. It's meant to be kind of a Street Fighter clone. Not as good in my opinion, but not bad at all. This is a really good game, and King of Fighters games usually hold their value, like I said. So King of Fighters, Atlas, it's got a lot going for it as far as collectability goes. So. And this next game I picked up because it was $5, and it's called Mugen Souls Z. This is a direct sequel to Mugen Souls. You can tell this is actually a really new PS3 game since it has the blue border, like I've mentioned in my other videos. But it's very Japanese game, very RPG. Published by NIS. NIS is kind of hit or miss to me. I either really enjoy their RPGs or I'm like, this is just way too Japanese for me. And I've heard good things about Mugen Souls, and there was like some issues, and they fixed a lot of the issues with the sequel to Mugen Souls. So, but for $5, I don't like. I'd pick up almost any game by NIS for $5 because I definitely think it'll go up over time. You know, I've only got 2 more games to go. And this next to last game is called Untold Legends Dark Kingdom. And this was, I believe, one of the first like 5 games that came out for the PS3. If you like Diablo, you'll like it. And that's pretty much what it maybe like Baldur's Gate, Diablo, stuff like that. But I had fun with this game, and I think this game is going back up. I think this was $5, and it used to be $1, it used to be $2. So it's an early PS3 game. It's a fun PS3 game. To find it complete is a task these days, just because it was one of the first 5 PS3 games to release. So I don't think this will become extremely collectible or rare down the road. I don't think it's sold particularly well, so it might be a little rare down the road. But it's one of those games that could be rare but not that expensive. So, and this last game is I only bought because it was $2. I have played it before, and it's definitely a below average game. It's called X-Blades, made by South Peak Games, and South Peak does some niche games as well. Her looks can kill. That's what it says on the back, so it's pretty cheesy. I don't think this even supports trophies, so. Nope, it doesn't support trophies, so it's definitely, I didn't think it was that old, because I remember when this game came out, and one GameStop employee kind of hyped it up to me, and I was just like, really? But it's kind of cheesy, the gameplay is just average, the story's kind of blah, but for $2, if you want to add it to a collection, you can, so. But that's my PS3 update video. Like I said, I'm trying to get a computer, trying to get a camera, trying to get stuff done for my YouTube channel so I can make this look a little bit better. If I can stop playing Fallout 4, then I might be able to get some more of this stuff done, and I might do some more videos. But I apologize, I haven't done many videos, so just hang in there, and you'll see some better quality stuff coming out here soon. So I appreciate all the support you guys give me. If you have any comments, any suggestions, leave them below, and join me next time. I'll see you later, guys. Bye.